Morning everyone, I'm Meg from LovenStamps and you are watching Maker Mornings with Meg. I have a final embossing paste project to share with you guys this morning and I am really excited about this one. It's a great way to add paste for a really simple background to dress up a card, and so you can use this pretty much on anything just as a little bit of extra. So I've got our curved occasion stamp set that we're featuring in what month is this? December. And then I've got my packet of cardstock here because this is one of the 2 project kits that you will get in the mail. So let me also say that I've got a sneak peek for you from the Sale-A-Bration Mini Catalog. And that is the most adored, not adorned, but it is adorned paper. It's very pretty. The most adored designer series paper, and this is one of the things that you can pick at level 1, and it's clearly meant for Valentine's, but way more than Valentine's. So I'll give you the quick sneak peek here, and then I'm gonna flip our camera down so you can see this paper really up close. It is very, very pretty here with the gold foil. And you can see that there. And each page has on its backside a color in like Flirty Flamingo or Real Red are the colors. So there's a gold swirl. There is a pretty hash kind of plaid on diagonal. A gold plaid on a not diagonal. A pretty heart trim paper. A gorgeous floral that matches one of the floral sets in the mini, and then some heart paper, and then there's this one. I love papers with a direction on them. You guys, look like the falling hearts. This just makes me happy. It reminded me for some reason I'm getting vibes of like elementary school Valentines, which who doesn't love an elementary school Valentine? Gorgeous mixed color plaid on the back, and then we have this fun brushstroke line print and these pretty hearts on the back here. So if you are a Flirty Flamingo fan, your day has come. So it's really, really pretty paper. And I am going a little crazy here because we're kind of having some white balance things. I do not want you guys to have to figure out whether things are yellow or not. So let's just get that set. All right, there we go. So not yellow, very pretty crisp white. And with that, I'm going to show you our card layout for this. It's a very classic card layout, one that I use regularly and I love because it applies to lots of situations. And so we're going to go ahead and start with just a regular half sheet of cardstock. This is Real Red because that's the color from our most adored paper. I've just folded it in half, and then I'm going to take this and fold it in half back again. So now we have a Z-fold. Z-fold is such a great design because what you put on the front will still show when your card is open. So make sure any card that is just, would be a regular front design card, you can do this way with a fancy fold here as a Z-fold. So morning, Kathy and Mary Ellen and Margie and Becky. Oh, don't let me forget, I have mail call to share at the end of our video today. I've gotten some really gorgeous cards in the mail. So, all right. So with that, let's carry on with our very easy layout. I'm just going to go ahead and use multi-purpose liquid glue to do our base. I'm going to put this on half of our card. Make sure you don't put glue on the half that's going to contact the open space. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this down. Now I have here a gorgeous piece of this most adored paper and a little slip of the most adored paper. So you could use these any way you want. If you want to use them this way, if you want to use them this way, whatever makes you happy. So if you're getting this card kit in the mail as a thank you for your December order over $50, then you can choose how you want to arrange these pieces. But this is also a 3x4 card, is a layout design that I use regularly. So the designer series paper is 3 inches by 4 inches. You don't have to use a whole 3x4 piece for this because you're going to add a strip to the side. So you could use a smaller piece combination, but it has to add up to 3 across. And then our layer here is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, which is just a really perfect paper cutting size because of the way things work out. All right, so we've got a card base going here. Now we're gonna bring in our papers here. I've got our slip here of petal pink cardstock, which we're gonna use colors again. And remember, when you are selecting colors, you want to reuse colors more than once so that you really get the most out of your, well, first of all, the most out of your color mileage, but then you want to repeat colors just so that they look like they have a home on your project. Little bits of random color stuck in don't always display the way you might want them. So give me 2 seconds. We have another beautiful sunny day. It actually started off kind of cloudy here this morning, so Pepper didn't think she needed to be outside, but she does now. It's like little kids on the telephone, right? They don't need anything from you until you are on the telephone or in the middle of something, and then they clearly find the opportunity to ask for what they need. So, okay, so I've got our greeting here. We're gonna do the floral and the Miss You greeting, and I'm gonna make sure that I let that be sort of its normal shape. I just set it down and picked it up like this so that it's going to fit on our punch for us, because we're gonna stamp and punch that. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, this piece is big enough. Where's my other little slip of, okay, well, we're gonna say it is. So I'm gonna grab my paper here, and we are going to Stampin' Pebbled Path, which is my new favorite neutral. I use it for all kinds of backgroundy things in place of black. I just love, it's a little bit softer, and it is got a great new color. So I'm also going to go ahead and ink this up here in our floral bouquet so that we have our floral bouquet, and then I think I can close this up. Do you guys close your ink pads when you're done stamping a piece? I find that I'm less likely to drop my pieces into my ink pad if I remember to close them as I go. All right, I'm going to, oh, look, there's a piece of petal pink cardstock already in my punch. Oh, that's funny. You wouldn't think that cardstock would be so stiff, but little bits in diagonal. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and punch this, and I have skimped it too close to the edge. You guys see how the bottoms there are showing, so that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch it here, and then I'm gonna flip it over and reopen my pad, and I'm just gonna stamp it again, which is one of the great things about the photopolymer stamps. You can see through them, and you can easily get things on your paper where you want them. All right, but we still need this because we are going to use that to do our embossing paste. So let's pull in our embossing paste here. I'm gonna pull in this fun silicone mat. This is one of the items that comes with a glass mat that will be available during Sale-A-Bration as one of the new demonstrator bonuses. So you can choose this if you want it, or you can get extra free product with your starter kit. But I really kind of like this. Now, if you are a demonstrator already and you want to order this, it'll be available for order after the celebration is done. So kind of a perk. So let's get our silicone mat here ready and our embossing paste. Now, I've been using the same embossing paste for like over a month now. And you remember that when we put this away, I always remind you, take that take that foil, press it all the way down into the bottom of the container so that it's protecting the rest of the material from air. So any of that left down there in the bottom should be in good shape. So that being said, embossing paste does not last forever. So once you've got it open, plan a bunch of fun projects with it. So I've got a bit of paste here on my palette knife. I'm going to drop it here into my project. I'm going to get some more. And then right away, this stuff is serious about trying to dry on you. You can see there's like a big divot down there in the bottom. So when I put my foil back in, I'm going to take that and press it down so that that divot is getting pressed out, just kind of like Play-Doh. I don't know, what is this like? What other things do we treat this way? You want to definitely keep the air contact off of there, okay? All right, now you might notice that over time, the edges of your paste start to dry. If they do and they get crunkly, you just want to, get them, you can scrape them off and and dump those like into a scrap bin or something, just so they don't accidentally get mixed into your good paste, okay? I've heard people say that you can reconstitute the paste by letting it sit in a tiny bit of water. I've not tried it. I don't know. If somebody's had experience with that, let me know. But I have our Petal Pink ink refill here. This is just for the regular, you know, classic pads. And I'm going to put a drop or two of Petal Pink in here. Maybe just one. I kind of like the light. Well, okay, two. Two fill in, so we're doing two. And I found that, you know, you can adjust the color pretty easily depending on what, how many drops you put in. You just don't want to overdo it because you don't want to dilute the paste so much that it makes it hard to dry. All right, so now I've got sort of a mixed color. I wouldn't worry too much about getting this. Let's zoom you all in. Go back here. I wouldn't worry too much about getting it, you know, really solidly one color. I kind of like the variation. Just gives you that little extra swirl. So I'm going to pick this up with the bottom of my palette knife, and then I am going to spread this here on my cardstock. Now, this is the part where if you are the person who likes things to be absolutely neat and even, you can do that, but you kind of miss out on some of the bonus of the texture. A great thing about the silicone mat over like a tray is that you can, or a hard plastic tray, is that you can flex this to get all the little bits of your paste out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and run this around, and I'm going to punch it eventually when it dries with a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So that's why my cardstock is a little bit bigger, because I want to be able to have the whole thing textured all the way to the edges. Don't worry, there's a magic of television. You don't have to watch paste dry. Okay, let's keep it on here though. All right, so you can see that I've got that nicely placed on there. And then of course you want to right away take your tools and go drop these into a tray of water so that they are easier to get clean, okay? And then we're gonna take our great paste piece here and set it aside to dry. And look, through the magic of television, I have one right here that is dry, okay? And you can see some places I let the cardstock show through on this one. Lots of great choices. So it has a tendency to warp a little bit when it dries. That is okay because you are going to glue this down as a layer. So, all right. Hey, Terry. Oh, Kathy had a really great suggestion. Thanks, Kathy. She said besides the foil in here, she adds a layer of plastic wrap over the top of the paste just to make sure that you're getting a really good seal and keeping this tight. So, yes. All good idea. I actually like that. Okay, wrong punch here. I'm going to use my 2 3/8 inch circle punch and run this in. Now, you got to be a little careful. If you've gotten your paste too thick, you'll have to work a little bit to get this in here. And the paste will punch fine, but you're going to have to just be a little bit careful when you pull that down because you want to not scrape the paste off. So now you can see how the edges turn out so nicely, and we have our piece here. Now, if you want to, of course, you could figure out something to use that for, but I'm going to go ahead and scrap it for now. So we need to get our pieces together here. So I'm going to do some coloring. We're going to add our background, and we're going to add our final bit here. So let's pull in our Stampin' blends. And we're going to, I like to do the light colors first. So for this, I'm going to use brush tip and go ahead and color here on my background for our paper. We're going to do Petal Pink because like I said, remember we want to fill in, and I'm not going to worry too much about keeping it out of the little greenery elements because we're going to do green over the top and it's going to cover that up. So don't stress yourself too much. All right. So let's see, those are green stems though, not green paper, or not pink paper. And then I'm gonna come back here with just a little of the darker Petal Pink here to give it some shading in the background where our flowers are gonna overlap and our greenery and so forth. So that is going to end down here near our bow. give us a little extra depth to our elements. All right, our colored flowers are going to be Poppy Parade or Real Red. They are not exactly the same, but honestly, they're very close. So I find that I can get away with one or the other if I have one or the other. So lots of people are wondering, have wondered before, like with Stampin' Blends, how do you decide where to start with your colors? And I find that getting, kind of think about what color families you love the most and start there. So if you are a Regals person, like those are the colors you gravitate towards, then go with the Regals, a few Regals blends, get a green, a red, a yellow, and sort of, so you have the basic color ideas there. If you are a Brights person, then go with the Brights. This year's in colors, the 22 to 24 in colors would be a good choice. They are definitely in the Brights family. If you are a person who likes pastels, the Subtles family would be more your choice. So, basically get a color assortment in the colors that most appeal to you. So something for flowers, green for stems, that kind of thing. A green, a red. I don't know, do you guys have strategies for how to pick your starting Stampin' Blends? I mean, of course you'll want them all, but what are you going to do? All right, and then I'm going to go back and we're going to do our red. And this is a much smarter place to use your bullet tip. This is one of the few places where I use a bullet tip. I really love the brush tips for their flow and their blending, but this is a place where that bullet tip really gets in there to the fine line. So let's add some green to our stems and maybe just a little bit of dark there along the lines. Okay. All right, so now we have our colored florals, and we're going to go ahead and take our scissors, where's my paper snips, and go ahead and do some quick fussy cutting. Hey, Jill, yay, Northeast Ohio. I actually grew up in a suburb of Cleveland up through late elementary school, so I'm a fan of Northeast Ohio there. Let's see, and hi, Bronny. Happy holidays. Yeah, we're getting close. I used to have a friend who's been posting like the 12 days of Christmas, and we're down to 4 days from Christmas. So I kind of like her countdown. It's sort of a wake-up call some days when I see it. Okay, so we're going to do our quick run around there. And now we have our floral element. And we're going to take this and pop it on our cardstock. Now, you can see here's what it would look like on plain, boring cardstock. Here's what it looks like with a really pretty crackled texture background that's actually tactile. So yes, printed papers are pretty, but the tactile background is super fancy. So if you have a friend who really likes textures, or kids who are into ASMR, then that is a really fun bonus. All right, someplace here is our little Miss You. There it is. And so we're going to bring this in. And here's where I said, if you have some warp, which I do here, to your piece, this is a good opportunity to use your Stampin' Dimensionals to insist that it cooperates and sits the way you want it. So you guys know me, 5 Stampin' Dimensionals on one circle is just a crazy amount, like holiday splurge. But it is nice for this because it does help our disc to sit on our card nice and flat there. All right, and then last, I'm going to go ahead and pop a dimensional on here, which is much more my speed. 1 dimensional should be just fine. And pop this here on our card, Miss You. So a really pretty card to share with somebody. The last thing I need to show you, before we get to our mail call, I don't want to forget it, is the design or the cardstock that's going to go on the inside. And I like to place this after I have already done the front of the card so that I know exactly where to place it. So I want it to be hidden underneath. So I'm going to put it kind of what looks like the middle to me, and then I'm going to double check it. Yep, it doesn't show when the card is closed. So then I'm going to go ahead and squish it, let it dry. That is one of the advantages of the multi-purpose liquid glue. It is the perfect adhesive when you need something to just shift a tiny bit after you've placed it, because it doesn't grab instantly. It grabs very strongly, but not instantly. So it gives you that extra second or two to go ahead and, all right, so I'm gonna zoom, wrong way, there, out again, to give us a little more space for our mail call. So there is our final of our embossing paste projects. And this is a technique that you can use on pretty much any card to just add that extra piece there. Then here is one of our other projects. This is episode, I think, 420, where we did the embossing paste with that fun dot pattern. So you can make your own masks for this using the dots and spots embossing folder. We have the cards that move, which is missing from my counter. Oh, here it is. That one here where we did those fun textured clouds. So just using the plain embossing paste. And then I showed you guys how to do the mechanism for doing our little moving car here from the Curved Occasions set. And the Happy Dance then was this one, our other roller skate. And this one we did an ombre embossing paste technique. Now for any of these embossing paste projects, you can use the regular embossing paste, or you can use the shimmery embossing paste, shimmery white embossing paste. But whichever ones you're using, if you're doing tinting like we did on 3 of our 4 cards here, this one we used it white, just plain. You can tint both the embossing paste and the shimmery. The shimmery just has like a iridescent ice glitter mixed into it, pre-mixed, so it makes it really sparkly, which would be, awesome for clouds, or honestly, any of these would be good. It's just that this is the one that we used for our projects. So remember to use your embossing paste. You're gonna want the set of palette knives. The Stampin' Up! Ones are terrific. It really helps to have a bend in your piece here. So, and the other thing is that the edges are smooth. So like you could use just a plastic knife from, takeout container or something. But those serrations on the edge are going to leave a texture, which if that's what you want, that texture is terrific. But if you're not looking for the texture, remember you need a flat edge to your palette knife. So, all right. Happy pre-Friday, Kelly. Yeah. Happy pre-Friday for Christmas. I guess I won't see you guys until after Christmas. That is kind of crazy to me. But let me show you some of the cards that I have gotten in the mail. This is a beautiful Christmas card from Jackie Yingling. I love that wood grain paper. It just really kind of screams Christmas. And a gorgeous card from Sue. And this is the Winter Meadow paper from the mini catalog, and the back side of it here. So I love how she used those together. And then these decal circles were introduced just recently. And then these really pretty die cuts on here. You can see those on her piece. So Christmas Begins with Christ, gorgeous card. And actually the other thing I love about this one is you see how she put those circles all the way to the edge. I love that they run all the way out here rather than ending here with the designer series paper. It either way would be really pretty, but I love that for just kind of a cool sort of never-ending effect. I have a gorgeous card from Mary, and this just a pretty wood block, and then she used an embossing folder on the background there. I think you guys can see it. Those Christmas embossing folders are so elegant. They add just a nice touch. This card is from Vicky, and she used, you guys know this is one of my favorites, right? She used the Winter Owls set. This is retiring, so if you've been looking at this, Winter Owls, do not miss it. And then this was from the Perched in a Tree, I think was the name of the stamp set. I can't remember the folder. What am I trying to say? The die set, but the die is just gorgeous. I love this with Winter Owls. Good job on the pairing. Pretty designer series paper in the background. And then if you're wondering about that gorgeous subtle sparkle, that is Wink of Stella, which is another way to add nice sparkle to any of your projects. This card is from Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. And I love the wreath with the little bits. So this is, there's one solid wreath here in shaded spruce, and then the little garden green ones on top of it with the little bits of, I think this is probably like the glitter, I can't remember what it's called, in the bottle. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And then a few of the little red rhinestones to go along with it. And in the background, this folder, I'll hold it still so you can see it. The folder in the background on this wild wheat, my favorite color, is the trees folder. So a really nice way to set off that wreath in the background. All right, then I have another very, very pretty card, Linda Yearsley, with gorgeous, joyous background. So this is the Noel background. So this is the combination of Christmas classics and Joy of Noel. And I love this tag. This is a tag that I will definitely be using more in the new year. It comes from a set of dies. There are 3 different sets and different sizes. And gosh, I can't remember what it's called now. It's in the main catalog though, and you will be sure to see more of it. Whenever I see it on cards, I get excited. So I just love the way she did the coloring on this, and the black and the white and the red are so pretty together. Oh, and Wink of Stella here. You can see it there. So gorgeous. I actually love the Noel too. So it's double stamped. So you'd stamp it once and then move it over and stamp it again. It just gives a really, it kind of fills the background in a really great way. And then this is layered color on color, which is another way to just dress up without adding like an extra, busy thing to look at. So see, there's a real Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade, I think, layer on Poppy Parade card base. So really cool there. All right, then I have a card from Megan in Ohio. She used the really gorgeous text here, and then the fun light bulbs there from the mini catalog we're just wrapping up. And then I love these little discs. So really fun and like bold. I love the bold color and the bold font. Oh, yes. Nested Essentials. Thank you, Jill. Gosh, I don't know why I can't remember that. And then a really pretty handmade card from my friend Pat with the reindeer on there and that sparkle antlers. So fun to have the texture on there. All right. So that was our mailbag for the day, and their cards here. So this is the end of the embossing paste projects, and I will be here next week for more tutorials. So the month of December, Christmas will be this weekend, but the month of December is not over. So you'll have 2 more episodes of Maker Mornings with Meg before we head into 2024. I think, is that right? I feel like I need to look at a calendar here. Yes. Oh, that's the month of March. Gosh, that is not helpful. Yes, the 26th at least. So, and then I will actually be headed to Atlanta for my son's high school marching band's trip to the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. So that will be coming up here around the new year also. So if I pre-record something, you'll see a Maker Mornings with Meg on the 28th. And if not, then I might not have one on the 28th. So we'll see. All right, everybody, have a wonderful holiday. I hope that you have enjoyed doing some crafty things to get ready for your Christmas preparations. If not, enjoy some time over the holidays to just take a deep breath and relax and enjoy the time to just, have some time to yourself or your family or whatnot. So whatever your plans are, I hope that you guys enjoy your weekend and that you have some time to be crafty and creative. So, all right, everybody, happy stamping, and I will see you all in post-Christmas next week. So happy stamping, everybody.